1, 2, 3.
Get ye some say umlo check but gal sup.
Oh shit, we live. Anyway, what's the deal? YouTube is the weekless podcast. It's been a week already. Time flies when you're doing fact checks. Anyway, whatever the case may be, it's a lot of hooplas, a lot of to be discussed this week. DirectX12, Secret Sauce, Titanfall. A lot of hate going on in the community. You know, it was Icy Bitchums or some shit. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. But anyway, crap game. What's going on? Talk to me, man. What we got going on this week as far as the Xbox One, man?
We got the DirectX12 stuff going on. We got the Game Developers Conference coming up on the 20th. We've got the official Microsoft DirectX12 Twitter account posting, do you game on Xbox One? We do. GDC 2014. So we know that something's up with DirectX12. Phil Spencer just tweeted the same thing. Find out more at GDC about DirectX12 and Xbox One. So we got that going on. That's some really big news for Xbox fans. You're gonna see it downplayed a little bit and probably not even brought up on some of the bigger gaming sites.
Wait, so you mean that one YouTuber, my man, Mr. Dumplings, was wrong? Icy Benchums, he was wrong.
And he was not only wrong, he was completely wrong because he said there was no chance. He said no chance, and and his exact words were, "If I'm wrong, I'll make a video apologizing." So I guess we shouldn't hold our breath on that video.
But what did he say about the certain YouTuber never researches his shit or some shit? What did he say?
Yeah, he said that you don't research anything, that you are ignorant and stupid and all this kind of stuff, and it was just really a lot of hate-filled comments, and I called him out on it, and then he just got crazy when he realized that I was right and posted the links to the updated DirectX things coming from Microsoft, and it's legit. And now he just looks like he's crazy, and he's got these like lunatic, deranged fans going on everybody's YouTube posting crazy stuff. So it's just one of those things where he's gonna hate because he's wrong, and he's got nowhere else to go with it.
Yeah, one of them threatened to suck my dick till my head exploded. I don't know what the fuck was that about. I swear, man.
That doesn't sound like a threat to me, man. That sounds like a party.
Yo, one of these motherfuckers threatened to suck my dick till my head exploded. Whoa. Pause. Yeah, pause. But anyways, yes, I guess, yeah. So anyway, but
big pause.
Yeah. So a Warrior, what you've been MIA for a while. Let me get a chance to talk to you, Brian. Have you been following the whole DX12 debacle?
I've been following it ever since the Xbox One launched.
Okay. So do you want to add? I'm sorry. Do you want to are you knowledgeable saying what it may bring to the Xbox One?
Yeah, I think that what happened was I think Microsoft wanted to get the box out for the holiday season, and obviously it wasn't ready to run that DX12. I think, and this is just a guess, but I think that all along they kind of designed the box to work with DX12.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to make games much easier for developers. The people that make games.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to make it much easier for them to implement some things that take a hit off of the CPU and the GPU. So you're not going to see, a problem with resolution or frame rate. You're going to see much more effects, much more things like, the lighting, the textures and stuff like that. Now, it's interesting. I want to see how quickly developers take hold of this, how quickly they use it to make games, especially in cross-platform games. How's it going to look on one console versus the other? Is it going to help, with development, speed, things like that? I think it's a big deal. I really do.
I'm sorry, not to, like I said, as far as both the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, they're both using x86 architecture. Games are made on PCs, so,
Right.
I know
the DirectX is exclusive to Microsoft platforms, so
yeah.
They're going to roll it out on PC.
Yeah.
I think it's huge for PC gamers as well. I mean, it's huge news for them.
Yeah, I think, a lot of the I guess, Microsoft haters or whatever the case may be, or just saying, by theory, not by theory, but according to Albert Pinello, and I got slammed, I did a video on this at the E3, around that time, right before E3, right after E3. John Doe's my witness, and, I think I'm probably one of the only ones here on YouTube that talked about it. That Albert Pinello said, why the hell would we give our biggest competitor a 40 to 50% advantage, over us? And it makes no sense. Now we're starting to, factor in like why motherfucking Microsoft spent $3 billion with AMD. You know what I mean? We didn't know the back end of what the hell was going on. You know what I mean? And like I said
Yeah.
before, Microsoft had had like I said, a gag order, and they didn't allow certain people to talk about certain things. And now you said, remember, Major Nelson all over said we can't wait till the full truth comes out and you can see we have a lot of architecture that's a lot of things in our platform that's not understood yet. And like I said, now we're starting to all make sense. Before they thought it was just blowing smoke out his ass and this and that. But anyway,
Yeah.
if this is
But
true and this DirectX shit, I'm sorry, plays out and is really a game changer, it puts it, believe it or not, it puts it above the PlayStation 4.
I was real quick before you move on. I just wanted to make one more point. The whole thing about it means that the Xbox now is like the best console ever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're an Xbox gamer and you like the Xbox,
Doesn't
it's
matter.
nothing but good news. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, but
It's nothing.
I'm
It's
sorry. Yeah.
nothing but good. It's nothing but good news as far as the x86 architecture. The PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One both built on that. I know that the PlayStation 4 people like to throw out the mantle, and how it's actually better than DirectX 12. And I'm not super knowledgeable on mantle, but I know that Windows is pretty dominant as far as uh, development on PC, just development
Oh
on
yeah,
games
it
in
is.
general.
Yeah,
You know, so
everything.
it has to be good news. And if you're just like a crazy fanboy, then I can't really engage with people that have opinions. I can't argue opinions. I could just
yeah.
I could just talk, and we can have a dialogue about why it's good news, and doesn't mean PlayStation's gonna die. I mean,
Oh
but
no. It's just I guess in Microsoft thing. I'm sorry, stance. They can kind of justify their price tag a little bit
yeah,
to the
yeah,
haters. Xbox fans
I
don't have a problem paying $500. We get it. We
yeah,
hear. Even
I
if
think they
DirectX
already
12 didn't
justified
come
the
out.
price tag.
Yeah,
For me,
even
but
if DirectX 12 didn't even come out, I'm happy and I'm fine with my purchase. But to the
right,
people that are sitting on the fence, they're still stuck on this whole resolution shit. And to me, it should have always been about the games. But now, like I said, not to say they're the secret sauce with all this shit here, but now I think it kind of justifies the $500 price tag and is bigger than the motherfucking Connect. Hey, showstopper, let me bring you in the show here. What's going on?
Okay.
What do you feel
Hey,
about
what's
this
going on?
whole DirectX 12 Secret Sauce, Albert Pinello, Mr. Media, Icy Bitchums, the YouTube community hate, the ponies and NeoGAF and N4G and BG charts, and fucking gaming battlegrounds. Let me know what's going on. What you think? What you think? How this is going to play out? Is it huge? Is
Um,
it big? What's going on?
it's huge because and when Microsoft still haven't released everything, they still haven't even explained cloud computing. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on with that, so it's a lot of this demonstrations and different things that they got to release that we have not fully grasped how they're going to bring it all together. So I'm looking at the tower resources. I'm looking at
Oh yeah.
this Direct 12. I'm looking at the cloud computing and everything that they have built into their architecture. Um, it's all good news for us. It's Xbox One owners, man, and I just feel that I'm glad with my purchase,
Mm.
regardless of all the hate
Mm-hmm.
that is going on out here. You gotta let these um, consoles get out and learn about them before you start bashing them.
Yes.
My whole thing with the with this whole console situation is that a lot of people just jumped on the hate. They hate Microsoft for whatever reason. There's a lot of different
You
reasons.
they
Ask them. There's a
Microsoft
lot of different reasons.
Microsoft evicted their grandmother, threw them out in the cold. You know that? Microsoft was
Yeah,
wrong with the world. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
So a lot of that they blinded by their own hate.
Mm.
So you get a lot of this little stupid stuff because they just hate Microsoft. But it's a lot of people that don't like Sony, and you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
Sony.
But that still don't stop them from going to enjoy a product that they put out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your hate has nothing to do with
That's
the
crazy.
product that they put out.
Hate.
And that's just
A
mind-boggling
a
to me. So you'll
hate
go
a
to
piece
the
of plastic.
streams.
A piece of plastic.
Yeah, you'll
Hate.
go to the streams to come out and just dog a console that you don't care for. If you don't care for the console, then that's fine. But if you tie that hate to Microsoft and the console, then we got a problem. Yeah, I mean
Okay.
that's just my take on it.
All right. Let me do eeny, meeny, mighty, mo. Slap a pony. Here we go. John Doe, what's going on? Let me hear your thoughts, man. John Doe back there taking. Oh, you did?
No,
You
I'm
did?
here.
Yeah,
No,
I'm here.
man, you know I'm here.
I thought you was about to taking the dookie. What's going on?
I gotta have my mic muted. When it comes down to me, like I say over and over, everybody is jumping on these consoles, basically like Showstopper said, and everybody else said, it's too early. These consoles haven't been optimized. Wait till they optimize and then weigh them out and see what's gonna get what and what system's gonna be able to do what. Then you can give your final, you know what I'm saying, verdicts. But like I said, it's just too early in the race for any predictions.
But the big misconception was they were saying if the PlayStation 4 is pulling ahead already, that this gap is going to be get more bigger. More bigger. That didn't make any sense. This gap is going to become bigger,
larger.
Yeah, larger.
More larger.
Yeah, become more enormous, more ponyism. Down the road, down the line. You know what I mean?
Well,
you have motherfuckers with the seatboat and all these motherfuckers on NeoGAF saying that the Xbox One would never do 1080p and all this fucking hoopla of these silly faces. Look at your goddamn minds.
Speaking on that same point right there, man, it really don't. It like everything is too early because if you think about it, Microsoft was way ahead of the PlayStation last generation. But PlayStation started getting their stuff together, and people seen what they liked about the PlayStation, and it slowly but surely caught back up. But at the end of the generation, you know what I'm saying, with console sales and software or whatever.
Hey, hold up that thought. I'm about to send you something, right? Here, check it out. Hold on, read this right here. That line. Yo, so all right. So what's your man name? What's your brother? What's your name? DJ Scream. What's your name, bro? Hello.
Yeah.
What's the new guy name? What's my man name?
Screwface.
I called this motherfucker DJ Scream. God damn, my bad. I done fucked your name all up. All right, DJ. I'm sorry. There they go again. Screwface. What's your name? Hello.
Yeah, Screwface.
All right, Screw. We gotta talk up. I gotta hear you. So you gotta talk a little louder. All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
All right, now questions. First time we having you on the show. The second verse, he be like, look at these niggas with these funny faces. That whole part right there. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Back to you. All right. So, have you been following the hoopla, the backlash about the whole DirectX12, or have you been following it? Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, I know a little bit. I mean, basically, my opinions kind of reflect what everybody else has already said. I mean, it just kind of it makes the argument even more greater for Xbox fans that our console is winning the war so far. But it's like John Doe said, you know what I'm saying? All these consoles, are still infants. You know what I mean? They're babies. So there's a lot of things we're going to have to wait and remain to be seen because everybody's got things, aces up their sleeve that they ain't dropped yet. You know what I mean? But,
okay. So,
that's basically all I got on that subject, though.
Okay, let me get Peter Parker.
Yeah.
All right, man, showtime. Peter Parker, you have both systems, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
You got you have a PS4, an Xbox One, but you spend more time on the Ouya and the 3DS, right?
Yep, because I'm a faggot.
All right, now with that being said, now to you, it's being real, like for you. All right, now this whole DirectX shit, you see, it's really starring up. I guess a lot of good, positive Xbox news. I see their sales are up 18%. And I don't know if that's something to do with the DirectX12, the secret sauce, or the fact that Titanfall comes out this week. Whatever the case may be. Do you think, honestly, do you think this is good news for Xbox One owners? Do you think it's going to put the bed all this resolution shit? Just being real, because if this is true and the Xbox One can, utilize DirectX12, some features of the 12, because here, no shit, Microsoft, that is their, like I'm saying, Albert Pinot said, we invented DirectX12. We have some of the smartest motherfuckers around. And ain't no way in hell they're going to put out a console in 2013 and not let their new Xbox One console take advantage of these features of DirectX12. I guess, they said Sony pulled the fast one on Microsoft when they decided to go with GDDR5, and they were supposed to have 4 gigs and upped it to 8 gigs. And Microsoft got stuck with using the slower RAM, which is DDR3, and the whole Esram should become the final. If this is true, this whole Esram, it really puts it above the PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? All honesty. But What do you think about this? Like, how do you feel?
My opinion is I'm going to hold judgment until I can see this technology in action.
Oh,
And the reason because of this is because I've seen in past history things where companies have said that this is groundbreaking.
mm-hmm.
Sometimes you do have groundbreaking technology. And I actually am going to leave a link in this chat. You can probably leave it in the video as well. But there's a really good possibility that this Esram could possibly be the most groundbreaking technology that we're going to see really soon, or it could just be a small boost.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody that works at a video game company. He says it's BS. I told him the same thing.
DirectX12 is
I'm gonna
BS.
wait.
The DirectX12 is BS.
No, the Esram. He doesn't really think it's gonna help.
Oh,
But I told him I'm gonna wait until until everything's settled down, because it may be amazing, the ESRAM. He's saying it's nothing special, but I mean we haven't seen it in action though as of yet, really.
well, we have, but we haven't. They demonstrate. They said it's not a theory. They demonstrated on stage and how with DirectX 11.2 how they can upload 6 gigs of images or talent resources, and offload them to the Eastern like a bumper, and then and able to access those 6 gigs of of data or pictures or whatever the fuck, video, audio, whatever the case may be. They did show it on stage. Now, your friend or your supposedly, inside source, says that he doesn't believe in the East Ram, but this makes it kind of funny because if he was truly an insider, I'm quite sure he heard something about what Microsoft with this whole DirectX 12 shit, But like I said, I respect your opinion, which is good. You're gonna wait and see. You're gonna wait to I guess March 20th. What is it, March 20th, guys?
Yeah.
March 20th.
Can I say a couple more things? I don't mean to
Yeah.
The one thing I want to say to Icy Rhythm, I'm not trying to start a feud with Icy Rhythm, but what I want to say is the PC version of that GPU that he was talking about, it probably won't run DirectX. But the one that's in the Xbox is a custom-made version, and it was changed a little bit to be able to do probably DirectX 12. Also, I want to quickly just go slightly off topic. I'm going to leave this link in so everybody in this chat can see, and also your viewers. About a year or two ago, there was a university that created this new type of technology for photography. Get this, the photos focus after you take the photograph. You click anywhere in the photograph and it focuses where it is. Anybody has a DSLR or SLR camera?
Isn't that what what you call camera? The Windows Phone or something? You can take a picture.
No. This
then clean it up later.
No, this is a university. You focus after you take the photograph. Everybody in the world was blown by this technology. So Esram could possibly be amazing. Like when people saw this technology, they were scratching their head.
Oh, okay.
So
you take the picture. You take the picture, then you focus. Is what you're saying?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right in the chat room right here. So you'll see a picture of a girl. You can focus. Click on her. Click on the two people in the background. Then you'll see a picture of a couple kissing. Click on them, and then click back to the girl's face, and it's going to focus.
Okay. You said something, Warren?
Yeah, just real fast. What he was saying. The idea that DirectX is huge. When I say that, it could be huge in the way that it's groundbreaking and you get these games that just look amazing, or like he said, it could be something that just gives it a bump and makes it easier for games to be developed on the Xbox One. As far as I'm concerned, either way, that's a win. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I mean, it doesn't have to mean that all of a sudden Xbox One games look like a next generation console. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It might mean that 4 or 5 years in, I don't know. But as long as it makes it easier for developers to get games on the system looking great and playing great and performing great, that's a win for me.
Can I say something real quick, guys?
Yeah.
I have Albert Penelow's direct quote here, and this is from Albert Penelow, who's the director of product planning for the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
And his quote is, "People do understand that Microsoft has some of the smartest graphics programmers in the world. We created DirectX, the standard APIs that everyone programs against. So while people laud Sony for their hardware skills, do you really think we don't know how to build a system optimized for maximizing graphics and for programmers? Seriously? Question mark. That's his direct quote. And this was him talking about this on NeoGAF
Yeah.
when people were saying that the
Yeah.
PS4 had this big advantage in power.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I will say that I've noticed is Xbox fans, don't go around there calling this stuff secret sauce. It's not secret sauce. It's technology. It's technology. There's a method to the madness. It's not some crazy outer space stuff. It's just technology. That's all it is. It's not secret sauce. Don't go quoting Mr. X because people think he's crazy. They'll think you're crazy. If you want, listen to people that know what they're talking about. ESRAM mixed with DirectX 12 could possibly bring these things like the tiled resources. And what happens is DirectX 12 takes strain off GPU, frees that up to do better frames per second, better resolution. So it could be something as small as that. You're going to get the parity with the frames per second and resolution. It's also going to bring, like Warrior Wart said earlier, it's going to bring in the better effects and things like that. So you could technically have games that are going to look better on the Xbox One, but it's not going to be something that you're going to look for overnight. It's going to be something that would probably happen. You wouldn't start seeing till, that's why I believe we won't see Halo 5 till next holiday. They're going to want to use DirectX 12. They're going to want to show off this stuff. You know what I mean? It's like we're all still waiting for the cloud stuff. Yeah, Titanfall's using it quite a bit. They're offloading AI and the processing and things like that. But they're going to want to show these things off in a big way to say, hey, we're not full of shit here. This is why. And people have to stop, secret sauce this, or you know what I mean? It's not. It's technology. This stuff is real. You can look it up. Microsoft has demonstrated the ESRAM doing this. Tiled resources is a real thing. DirectX 12 is a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when it's been demonstrated. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Joe,
can't nobody deny the demonstration.
Hey, Joe, check your inbox, though. Hello. Motherfucker back to take another dookie, son.
man.
You check your inbox?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just with that, I'll let you know. First before I go on to the next question, next statement. Damien Infrared Curry. Shout out to my dude. He been rocking out with our show since day one. He's just hit me up on asking for a shout out. So there's your shout out. Damien Infrared Curry. I believe he's from Newark, New Jersey, too, if I'm not mistaken. Here you go, bro. All right. Now listen. All right, secret sauce. Enough of the secret sauce. Enough for Icy Bitchums. Yeah, correct. DirectX 12. All right. Yesterday, me and Crap Gamer. Well, I got linked in an article, and they was talking about the liability, Sony's liabilities, and they had about, and I know Sony was having money issues, and there's no secret, but their combined, liability is more than Google, Microsoft, EA, Sam's, all these fucking companies together. It's like Sony will basically have to sell off 80% of this shit. That's including builders, everything, to break even. Like, this company went from $133 billion 9 years ago to less than $16 billion a day. They have not turned a profit in 9 years. Now here's Sony coming out. They're trying to push this virtual reality set. 3D didn't take off, so now they here they come. Motherfuckers didn't even wear 3D glasses. I don't think motherfuckers gonna work on with this fucking big ass box on their head on the front. I don't think so. Will I probably buy one? Yes, because I'm a fucking buy every goddamn thing. I'm a fucking Mikey. I'm fucking buy everything. You know what I mean? Now with that being said, do you think it's a mistake for Sony to get ahead and invest in this virtual reality headset? You know what I mean? Like, do you see a lane or do you see a market for this, Brian?
Who are you asking? Me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
I have a probably different point of view than most people have.
Okay, let's hear it.
I have a PlayStation 4. I have a Wii U. I like the PlayStation 4. I don't have any problem with it. I'm excited for Infamous. I think what Sony has to do, and I know a lot of people are saying you're not going to see a lot of games at E3. You're going to see a lot of paid for downloadable content and things like that, and maybe the order again. When a company's in trouble, they have to focus in on what areas are making money, right?
Okay.
So right now, I mean, it's not a lie to say that the PlayStation 4 is doing very well.
No, they are.
Okay, so they're at 6 million. Whether it's shipped, whether it's sold, I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
Everybody says shipped and sold. Either way, somebody bought the consoles. Either the store
This,
bought them or
yeah,
the people bought them.
yeah.
Okay, so I think what Sony's going to do, what they have to do, is double down on the PlayStation brand. So I think they're going to spend a lot of money on games. What I don't want them to do, which is what they always do, is pushing this tech that nobody wants or needs right now.
Oh,
Nobody wants 3D goggles. They didn't want 3D TV sets. Virtual reality, I'm sure it's great, but, don't spend the money where you don't need to right now.
so you think that Sony is going to invest now? According to them, according to Mark
Right,
Cerny and Jack Tritton,
who isn't
Tretton, Mark Cerny, the days of them investing all these money into these exclusives, and they're
Right.
not performing well, they can no longer afford to do that.
That's what I was gonna get into. If it's almost like it's a double-edged sword for them. They have all these studios that can make really good games, and financially they're in trouble. And PlayStation's making money, so it would follow naturally that they would invest money where they're making money to try and make more money.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, and this isn't a knock against fan bases. I'm a PlayStation fan. I'm an Xbox fan, but traditionally, for some reason, the community just doesn't buy games.
Brian,
You know what I mean?
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Do you feel that maybe there's the reason why Sony fans don't buy like the Sony exclusives? Not all fans, but is
Right.
because they haven't built up like very strong IPs. It's almost like, if we go back to the 30s, we got Batman, who's iconic, where Sony makes new IPs where it's like they just don't know that IP yet, that strong one.
I don't know. I mean, I think the Uncharted series is a good IP. I think people
I
know
think
it.
that. I think that. No,
I think Infamous is kind of coming into its own. Maybe
wait,
the 3.
hold that thought. Peter, check it out. Now, this is for you too. I want you to answer this, boy. Where you got the floor.
Yeah.
Now, Sony has been around since. Well, PlayStation brand has been around since '94, right? 95,
Yeah.
94, it came out in 94 in America. It came out in 94 in America. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I bought one day one. Holidays in '94. I know because I just came home from jail. No long story. But make a long story short. From 1994 until 2014. Now, in that span, what character or what franchise does Sony have that's a household name? And I don't think I don't know. I know Gran Turismo's big for them. And I think Uncharted. I don't think they have a household name yet. Now, I want to ask you guys, and I'm going to ask everyone here that, this is the question for everybody. Because I think this show here, everyone thinks that we're such Sony haters. And I try to always get away from this whole Sony and Microsoft shit. But they fucking bring me back. What, do you think that Sony has a household name? Microsoft has
God
Halo.
of War and Uncharted. That's about it.
You think Kratos is a household name?
Kratos and
God of
Uncharted.
War. God of
Uncharted.
War is the biggest thing they
God of
got.
War is the biggest thing they've ever had.
I would know what sales wise is Gran Turismo. That's
Right.
their
I was.
that's their
I'm sorry.
lead. That's their.
Are you trying to ask who's like their mascot, like Master
Well,
Chief
no, I'm
is,
just saying-
is Halo,
Well, no,
Zelda, Mario, or Nintendo?
no. Well, I'm just saying. What do you think is
Saying,
their
like their flagship
title?
game?
Yeah, like what do you
Man,
when you
it'd
think
be
when you
hard
think of
saying.
Sony? When you think of Sony, like when you think of Nintendo, you think of Mario, right?
Yeah.
So when you think of Sony, what do you think of? And I think right there is the edge. Hold on, let me close the door. Hold on, don't let go. I want everybody to answer that question. Because I want everybody to answer that question because I think maybe this is where the issue may lie. Boy, what do you think of Sony? What do you think of flagship title?
Yeah.
One word. Who do you think?
I don't. I used to think Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day, I don't really think that if you would ask somebody on the street who's just maybe like a casual gamer, if you said, Halo, most people would know that's
Master Chief. Okay.
I don't think a lot of people identify Kratos with PlayStation.
Okay. So you say so you say Sony. You say Crash Bandicoot.
I think of back in the day when they had their mascot and I think of Crash Bandicoot.
Okay, all right. Screwface, Sony. What do you say?
So I was gonna say Crash Bandicoot too, even though they kind of let it die when
They,
it came out.
who made it? Insomniac Games.
Yeah, I think Universal owns it now.
Yeah,
That and
Universal owns it
Spyro.
now.
Okay.
I think they kind of let it die. They kinda quit
Activision
pushing
owns
it because they wanted to
Spyro.
get
Activision owns
to the new
Spyro
technology
and
type games.
Did Insomniac make Crash?
yeah, no, Naughty
No.
Dog
No,
was
you,
Crash
you were
Naughty
saying
Dog
Bandicoot.
made
something,
Crash.
Screwface?
No,
Screwface, you
I'm
were
just
saying
saying that I
something. You
don't
keep
think.
getting cut off.
No, I'm good. I just think that it was Crash, but I think they kind of just shoved it under the rug and quit pushing it. You know, because I think like that's what everybody associated with. That was their Mario,
What
and
Crash?
they
Oh,
just
now Sony didn't own
yeah,
that
it was
IP, did they?
Crash, but they kind of just went away from it.
See,
Okay.
Mr. T did a video on this right here. Mr. T, see, when Crash Bandicoot was the thing, that's when Nintendo when Sony was trying to keep up with the Joneses, which was Nintendo at the time. They switched
Yeah.
over toward the kill zones and the shooters when Microsoft started putting out those type of games. You get
All
what
right.
I'm
So
saying?
John Doe,
Yeah.
Sony. What do you say?
It got to be God of War for me. I'd say God of War. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's Kratos when it comes down to me.
That's what I
Oh,
say.
okay.
I
Showstopper.
say
What do you
the
say?
same thing.
Kratos.
God of War. Yep, it's God of War for me.
All
I
right.
mean, that's just you asking me a personal question. So
Yeah, I'm saying when you
when
think of
I
Sony.
think of it, when I think of Sony, I think of God of War.
Okay, so God of War. All right.
Yeah.
Crap gamer, Sony.
You know what? Honestly, I was gonna say SOCOM because that was so big on the PS2, and they kind of ran that into the ground. That used to be a really good shooter franchise, third-person shooter franchise, but I would say that they were more known for. I think of SOCOM and probably Crash Bandicoot.
Okay.
Can I say something
Yeah,
real quick?
yeah.
You know, with Sony and their software sales, what I see them doing, like as of right now, they putting out limited exclusives for they can sell well. You know what I'm saying? So they're not putting out so many like they was flooding it.
People will gobble them up because
Gobble them up because they don't have so
they're
much
starving
games
for
out.
software. So
Yeah.
don't
So-
be surprised when Infamous and its 10-hour campaign sells a few million copies.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's
I look
right.
at it like this. Well, they said that they're gonna take the money, I guess, from Infamous, boom, throw it in something else.
Right.
You know,
Which makes
if
sense.
it makes dollars, it makes sense,
Makes
right?
sense.
And you can't, you
Hey,
know,
Yeah,
can I chime in something too
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the software sales? They don't advertise their games. That's a huge thing for
Yeah.
Sony.
Yes.
They have
Yeah.
such a they don't advertise. Like, do you guys remember they used to do the Kevin Butler commercials, right? And
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "Oh, I love those commercials. They're so funny," but they were never showing the gameplay. It was just him doing some smart ass comment and not showing the game. Like they did something with SOCOM 4 where he's running around or something and he's got that little weird move controller shooting it or whatever, but you don't actually see the gameplay. And even with the God of War 3 one, which was a great game and sold pretty good, the game they hardly show any gameplay during those commercials, and they don't invest the money into advertising in general. Like, how much money did they set aside for hardware in the Vita? $50 million. That was their budget for that, for advertising. That's not a lot.
yeah.
Hey Zaire.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean that's the thing. It's like, you know, they don't. Sony doesn't. Sony's kind of like Sega in a way. Like they never push their product enough. It's like they put it out and they get you to kind of like it, and then they just, you know what I'm saying? They just don't care no more. Like they did with Crash. Like, you know, that was their flagship, and then it was like, well, we're gonna go start
Well,
making these other type of games.
But
and
hold
then
up,
they just gave up on it.
Screwface. But Sony never owned that IP.
No, I know. I'm just.
So you know, I mean,
saying,
it's not really up to them. I guess, you know, I don't know if they paid for the game's development or whatever, but Sony never owned that IP that belonged to, I guess, Universal or whatever the hell. You know
Hey,
what I mean?
Zaire.
Yes.
I think the issue that I think we're missing an issue here is if you noticed all the games that we mentioned as an identity for Sony are very single player driven games.
Mm.
And the one game that we mentioned for Microsoft is a very single player.
Wait,
game.
but I didn't get to Microsoft. Microsoft and Nintendo's coming
No.
next.
No, I'm talking about the question that you asked about what we identify with Sony, what we identify with Microsoft, as far as a game.
Yeah, no. I asked you
I
Sony.
think-
I asked for Sony. Now I'm going to ask
Okay.
you guys, when you think
Hold
of
on.
Microsoft,
Yeah.
what do you think of?
Let it up.
Because
He was making a point
the
here.
reason why I'm saying that, because I'm going to flip it at the end, and maybe and I got a conspiracy theory here, I think, as far as Sony finances again, I think there's been some fucking inside trading, some fucking embezzlement. Cause I don't know how the fuck you can go from, hey, though you laughing. I don't know how they can go from 130 fucking $3 billion fucking 9 years ago to less than 16 billion. I know movie sales are down. I know music's down all across the board. I get all that, but god damn, somebody got their hand in the cookie jar. Somebody got that motherfucking the PlayStation
Somebody
3.
taking trips to Aruba.
Yeah,
Quite often.
hey yo, listen, the PlayStation 3 ain't cost. They ain't spend that much on the goddamn sale. Like, come on, that's a lot of money. That's like I don't understand. I understand every company loses money quarters, but for them to not to turn a profit, like I said again, in 9 years, that's like I don't understand that like they said that PlayStation 4 even was crazy. Check this out, fellas. At the E3, right, and Sony announced their price on stage and just said, yeah. Kojima, if you guys don't know who Kojima is, the father of the Metal Gear series, he said, wow, that's pretty low for the system, and he's surprised they took the camera out of the box. The PlayStation 4 was not supposed to be sold for under like $500. It was supposed to be $500. You had the camera inside, and then it probably made an extra $50. Because believe it or not, every PlayStation 4 that's sold, they lose $60 and whatever the fuck the case may be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, but to add to what Brian said, you say he doubled down on what's making the money, but just being real,
it's not making money.
it's the most profitable part of Sony's what they have right now. I think that and the cameras.
That's the only thing they have left.
Actually, the cameras does better than the PlayStation part.
In fact, GameStop raised the price.
I'm not talking about the PlayStation Eye. I'm talking about Sony's cameras. They professional cameras. That does well also. But I'm just saying here is that there's no money. They make their money as far as console gaming. They make their money off of royalties for games, accessories, and just that's how they really make their money. That's not really in the hardware. Unless you put out something that's extremely underpowered and you sell it market like they did with Nintendo. They make their money on royalty fees. Now, what I'm going to ask, because I'm going to flip this at the end, Brian, I'm going to ask you first. When you think of Microsoft, what flagship title comes to your head?
Listen, before I answer, yeah, I'm going to answer you, but I don't know how much time you're going to give me. But please give me some time later on to finish what I wanted to talk about, as far as the different communities, as far as what games we're talking about. Like this, we mentioned a lot of single player games for Sony, and the game that I'm going to mention, and most people think of when they think of Microsoft, it's usually a very social game. It's a game that involves a lot of people. So I'm going to say Halo, obviously, because Master Chief is a huge character.
Okay.
And he identifies with the Xbox. However, there's also a very, very, very compelling single-player story, and there's a very, very compelling multiplayer side of that game as well. Okay. Whereas the other games we mentioned on Sony, and a lot of their games, like when I play on my PlayStation, it's a very solitary experience for me. Mm-hmm. It's a single-player game. It's me in the game. Whereas when I play on my Xbox, it seems to be more social. You understand what I mean?
You know what? Yeah. You kind of still on my question at the end. You kind of still on my question.
All right, I'll be quiet.
Yeah. You kind of still. Listen, let me add this. You kind of still in. You're smart, motherfucker, Brian.
Still in your thunder.
Yeah. No, that's not what my thunder. This is what I was going to lead into because, like I said, listen, I'm showing. Listen, guys, I'm showing my age here. I'm 36 years old, right? And it was a big misconception. Like I said, I've been playing video games since most of you motherfuckers thought bugs was candy. With that being said, so you remember when Xbox Live came out in 2002? Microsoft pushed the envelope, broadband only, headset, voice communication, every game. And when PlayStation Online service, you maybe had to buy the adapter. You know what I mean? You had to buy the adapter, and there was no voice. And Sony had commercials mocking. Test you guys video game knowledge. Sony had commercials making fun of Microsoft for wanting to talk. And I remember it was the Crash Bandicoot character that was there. It was their Crash Bandicoot character, and it was another kid being obnoxious, screaming in a headset, and he's like, "I can't hear you." It was like, and I can't because there was no voice, wasn't mandatory on that platform. Now, if you take it the Japanese culture, they're more more reserved. More more laid back. And as far as like America's being real, back then, Japan ruled the gaming industry. It's not like that anymore. Everything is what's popping. Like all the big companies now are in North America. Why? Because America is the biggest consumer of anything. You understand that? Of anything. That's why when the PlayStation 3 launched, their online was non-existent. Still. You understand? There was no PlayStation Network. There wasn't really no voice chat. No game. No, they had gamer rights, but there wasn't no voice chat mandatory in all their games. Because why? Because Sony still didn't get it. You know, what I mean, I do give them E for effort for we're trying to step in front of the curve and changing their how you say their business model and shit. But like I said, and changing their business model and ways they kind of structured. He said this is what's up. You know what I mean? Online gaming is very important. You know what I mean, for their console to be successful. You know what I mean? But like you said, maybe like you said, the whole the Xbox One or my Xbox, and that's me too. I talk to you guys, and it's more like I said, the community, and I don't feel the same way on my PlayStation. Like I'm in a white room, no one really talks. In the party chat, none of that shit is non-existent over there.
Right.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to make it sound like one community is better than the other.
Oh no, I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying that what I'm used to.
What I'm trying to say is, as far as we were talking about software sales and why some games don't sell, I think that the community is used to these really deep single-player experiences. And when the number one selling game is a third-party game and it's Call of Duty, the audience is there to play online, which is why it was strange to me that the first two big games that they announced that were first party had no multiplayer in them.
What's that for Sony?
Yeah, Infamous and The Order.
In the Order.
And The Order is supposedly a Gears of War type of game, third-person shooter.
That would be great for a multiplayer shooter.
And I
then they got 4 characters in there.
The whole theory for that is the online is they're having problems with the frames per second because they're forcing 1080p on the developers because they've gone out on the line saying everything's 1080p, and the frame rate's not going to support online portion of the game because it's not powerful enough hardware to do that. So that's what I've heard.
Well, I mean, they could always scale it back for multiplayer, like they did with Killzone,
Oh no, you could, and then you could go on a big old 25-paragraph thing about how it's 1080p technically, thanks to projection and all this stuff, right?
They go. I'm sorry. Go ahead. They still don't focus on multiplayer games because out of their first 4 games, they only got one game that got multiplayer, and that's Killzone. All the rest of them.
Check it out, though. What you didn't.
Hey, let me say.
Wait, hold on. Hold that thought, Showstopper. And what you didn't say though, only one game Killzone, you right? But guess what? Killzone launched without what? What did Killzone launch without? Voice chat.
Yep, sure did. Yep, they had to go back and add it in.
You see that? Killzone launched without voice chat. But what you gonna add, Show?
What I was gonna say is the reason why they go more towards single player is because it's a controlled environment. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to hit 1080p in a controlled environment to where you're not worried about streaming and online, and it's like a whole lot going on in that type of environment when you trying to reach those things. So a single player is more easier to hit 1080p.
Yeah, I mean,
60 frames.
No shit. Yeah, I mean that's a given. That's a given.
You see what I'm saying? So then when you go to online where it's it's a lot going on there. You know what I'm saying? It's harder.
Well, you know what? It also too is bandwidth. It has a lot to do with bandwidth. Yeah. And Sony's not. They're just being real. Sony's network is goldfish shit. It's not up to par. It is what it is. I'm not. Sony doesn't have the best. Bro, I got a fucking PlayStation 4 at launch. Listen, I got a PS4 at launch. Go back and this goddamn dog farting in my arms. Get your old ass down. Though. I got a PS4 at launch, and I couldn't. The fucking network was horrible, fucking horrible. But boy, I got you here, Showstopper. Microsoft. What title? What title ring? What you think of Microsoft? You think of what?
I think of Halo.
I think everybody's answer gonna be the same.
Okay. All right. Okay. Dope. When you think of Microsoft, you think of what?
The same everybody else gonna give you, Halo.
Okay. All right. Crap gamer. Who the fuck is calling me? Crap gamer.
Master Chief and Halo, obviously.
Okay, crap gamer. When you think of Microsoft, you think of what?
I think of Master Chief and Halo.
Okay. All right. And I did I ask you Screwface?
It's Halo.
Okay, now here's the thing. Now here's the flip side of that question. Hold up. Hey, Nate. Mute your mic, Nate.
Hey.
Mute your mic, Nate. Mute your mic. We're doing the show live here. Mute your mic. You're kind of loud back there. Now, here's the flip side of the question here. Now, you think of Halo, right? Now, Brian. Now, and is that why most Sony fans look down on the Xbox because all they think they have is Halo? Is Microsoft that IP being a victim? Is it being a victim of their own success? When you think of Microsoft, only thing you think about is Halo. Is a shooter.
Well, the question was, what do I think of the most? But that's not all I think of. I mean, obviously, I think of Gears. I think of Forza.
Which is a what? Which yes, Nate. Which is what? What is Gears?
It's a shooter.
Okay, again. So what I'm asking you is this: so when you think of Microsoft, I asked you one name, one name, one
Right.
thing. When you think of Microsoft, what comes to your head is what? Master Chief, right?
Right.
Shooter. Because most people think when you think of Microsoft, all they have are shooters. They don't have that one game, that one offline game that's a deep immersive story like a
Last of Us. Just say Last.
Yeah,
of
they
Us.
don't. Microsoft doesn't have their Last of Us. That's why. This is the truth. They don't have a Last of Us. That's why I'm hoping Quantum Break. Is
I
a great
just
game.
disagree with that, though. I don't think because a game is a shooter, it can't have a really deep immersive story. I think Halo has a deep immersive story. I think that's why it's been around for so long.
Listen,
I think
now
that's why
listen.
they have books. That's why there's movies.
Okay, I'm gonna
That's
play the protagonist here. What is the first thing you do when you get Halo? You don't play that story mode. You hop straight online.
Well, let me answer.
Uh-huh.
I'm a much different gamer.
Uh-huh.
So I like Halo because of the story.
Okay. So that's the first thing that you do.
I actually play the story too.
Hey, hold up, crap.
To
Hold
be
up.
honest, to
Hey,
be honest,
Hey,
Gears has a
hold
great
up, though.
story as well.
Hey, hold up, crap, you piece of shit. Hold up, though, you
I
piece
play
of
the
shit.
story too myself.
Wait, hold up. Hold up, Nate, you pieces, you lying piece of shits. Nate, hey, listen here. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Hold up, Brian, hold up.
Hey, I ain't gonna perk. I get straight online.
I thank you. Hey, Showstopper. Thank you. Tell the truth. Showstopper, tell the truth and shame the
I
devil.
play the campaign, but I get online first.
Okay, hold on.
That's
So,
the same
hey,
thing
listen.
with Ghosts, and that's the same thing.
Okay,
with
now,
Ghosts, I get
with
straight
everything
online
else.
on Ghosts. I ain't never played the campaign.
Okay, now listen.
Battlefield.
Okay, wait, hold that thought.
Hold on, we're starting to talk over each other.
Wait, hold that thought. Listen, all that's well and good. So what you're saying right now, you're gonna tell me, you lying piece of shit, that when you get home, you get your husky ass home. The first you see, what Halo has this great story. I'm gonna hop straight on this campaign. That's the first thing that you do, brother.
Listen, I'm telling you 100% truthfully, I play Halo for the campaign.
See, you know what? And I do apologize, Brian. I do realize that you told me, Bonnie, that you're openly gay man, and I'm sorry. and you know what? All right, okay, all right. Fuck it. It is what it is. I'm not going to badger you on the show today. All right, that's just that he thinks it's he thinks of Halo. He thinks of the story. Okay, Doe, when you get Halo home, what is the first thing that you do?
I jump on. On Halo. I jump on multiplayer, but Gears, I play the campaign first out the box.
No, just talk. Okay, but I'm saying, so what Halo, you hop online. So what I'm saying, I said I wanted to flip these questions and I think, in all honesty, it's like someone like Nintendo, when you think of Nintendo with the whole Wii, and Nintendo became a victim of success, which was extremely successful, but it got a lot of backlash. People hated it. The goddamn thing was so successful. And, everyone bought it, but they hated it. Same thing was the Kinect. Very, very successful. I think it was the number one selling of a peripheral of all time or some shit like that. It was a victim of success. And I think why the Xbox, this is my own thing here, I'm going out on a limb here, why a lot of Sony fans don't like the Xbox when they think of, because everybody likes shooters. When you think of Xbox, you think of shooters. You know what I mean? When you think, to me, when I think of Xbox, it's not Halo, I think of Xbox Live. That what rings true to me when I think of, when I think of, I didn't ask myself, when I think of, one character, when I think of Xbox though or Microsoft, I think of Xbox Live before I think of Halo. But I think the disconnect between Sony fans, because I seen, if you guys don't know, a little backdrop, we had RXL, and shout out to that guy. He was in a Skype call with us yesterday, and Crap Gamer was taking shots at him. My man Thunderbird, all these guys were taking shots at him, like basically asking RXL why does he like the PlayStation 4 over the Xbox One. And these guys was giving all these, reasons and this, that, and the other. And RXL basically said he doesn't care about those features. He doesn't care about any of that shit. He just, about the games, which I think is kind of bullshit. But that's my opinion. But that's what I eat. What that man eat doesn't make me shit. But also what he said, he likes Sony games better. which is cool. You know, I don't have a problem with it. Me personally, it's flip. I don't care for Sony exclusive. To me, they're very cheesy. I don't like Uncharted. The only thing I like from Sony, being honest with you, is God of War. I love that shit to death. It's probably the best game that I played in the 7th generation, God of War 3.
You don't like Infamous?
No, not really. That's what I'm hoping.
I never even finished Infamous.
Yeah,
I got it for free after they hacked the
Yeah,
PlayStation Network.
me too. It didn't hold my interest. That
Yeah, it was
SOCOM, you know, that SOCOM was horrible. I like the Heavy Rain too, but I don't think that's going to be a returning franchise.
Question.
Yes.
Can I tell you why I said that I prefer the campaign first before the multiplayer? You remember Halo 1 when you first
Thank you.
when you first went in and you met the robots flying around, and you first came up against the, I forgot what you call it, the freaking,
Guilty Gear. It's Guilty Gear, right?
Guilty Spark, yeah.
Guilty Spark.
Yeah.
All right, it's not the Covenant. It's the ones, the Plague, the ones that the Covenant and them were fighting against.
The Flood.
Yeah, the Flood.
Okay.
And when you first unleashed the Flood, I can remember back, when I was young playing that game, and I was like so intrigued by the story of Halo. And that's why I've always looked at Halo as a story first, multiplayer last.
Oh, okay, but listen, Nate. In all honesty, there, like I said, I one thing I never debated about the opinion, but the first Halo, it wasn't a multiplayer. It was only a single player game.
Yeah, but I know so many people, like college kids.
Excuse me?
Well, you could have LAN parties.
But
Yeah,
I'm just saying. But I'm talking about X online.
Okay.
Hey, they even had websites that you can open your port and you can play it online, but it wasn't, there was no online.
I'm just saying that, I played online on Halo both on Xbox and freaking PC. Okay.
Yeah, but you did it. It wasn't the official Xbox Live way. It was the back end way. You know what I mean? Fine. But if people had private servers and all that shit, I get it. But like I said, with the average Joe Schmo, they didn't do all that. They just played Halo. It was for a, because Xbox Live wasn't out when the original Xbox came out in the year 2001. Xbox Live didn't come out until 2002. With that being said, though, Nate, do you think, because most people you think of Xbox, you said you played the story mode first, whatever, okay, cool, if you say so. But do you think that most Sony fans, when they think of Microsoft, all they think are shooters and online? And, some people are, like I said, are not into that.
Yeah, I can see most Sony fans feeling that way, but I mean, the what it can be said about Sony is every time you think of Sony, it's nothing more than fucking movie games.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna come to that. Okay, all right. Well put.
I mean, the number one selling game wouldn't be Call of Duty if they didn't like online games.
But why? Well, okay. Once again, you gotta realize this too. But it's the number one selling game because it's a multi-plat game on all platforms, right? So they added.
No, it's the number one selling game on PlayStation.
It's got four of the top 5 spots or something like that.
Okay, well, fine. I give you that. It's but in North America, right? North America is big on what? We're big online. I just said that when America. That's what I was saying. America, we lead the industry now. Everything is online. I'm talking about far as Japan. And, I'm not saying that Europe doesn't play online, but they're not as online crazy as we are here in the States. You know what I mean? So, again, what I'm saying about most people that disconnect with the Xbox brand, they don't care for Halo. They don't care for, I guess, Microsoft shooters. Microsoft still doesn't have that what you say Halo, okay. But they don't, besides multiplayer, Microsoft doesn't have that outstanding yet, that one single player game with no online. They don't have that yet. You know what I mean?
So you're saying it has to have no online.
Well, I'm just saying when you like prime example, when I think of Uncharted, I don't look at Uncharted as being an online multiplayer. I will play that for the story. I don't give a fuck about that tacked on team deathmatch shit. I don't care about that.
Same thing with The Last of Us.
Yeah, I would never touch. I don't like that.
It was like Tomb Raiders. They just threw it on there.
Yeah, I don't see me personally. I don't care about those tacked on death matches. I wouldn't mind doing co-op. I enjoy co-op, but I don't care about the tacked on death match.
The first Uncharted had no online, and then they tacked it on later when people were like, "Hey, you could make a Gears of War type thing," or it was like cover-based third-person shooter type game, and it wasn't very good.
Okay, well, wait, why I got you talking? What you want, baby? Oh, Jesus Christ! Crap gamer, why are you talking right here? Now, do you think that Microsoft, like someone with Nintendo, okay, clap my hands. Do you think that they're a victim of their own success of Halo being so popular, as far as being an online shooter, and most Sony fans?
I think that Sony fans are jealous of Halo because they don't have a Halo. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying? They don't have that Halo. They don't have that exclusive that drives people, that people are going to go out at that midnight launch and buy. People don't do that, I don't believe, for The Last of Us or God of War or Uncharted.
Well, they got
just
Gran
don't-
Turismo.
Yeah, they do have, but look at the last one. It sold nothing. I mean, it was it's like you can already
more of a worldwide game.
Oh, okay.
you can already buy Gran Turismo 6 for $30.
Okay.
And
All right.
it doesn't sell as well in North America. You know
Okay,
what
but
I'm
listen,
saying?
I'm gonna be. Listen, I'm gonna play the. Like I said, I'm gonna play the role of the protagonist here. Good guy, bad. Good guy, bad. But good cop, bad cop. Okay. In all honesty, Microsoft doesn't have a. I'm not saying that Halo. They don't have a exclusive that's as big as Gran Turismo. The Gran Turismo numbers far exceed Halos. It is what it is. Okay. With that being said, okay. Now, you said that most Sony fans are jealous of Halo, and I will give you that. Not Killzone. I guess like some people say it's like beer, like it's like an acquired taste. Fine. No, all right. So again, wait. How should I say this? So what I'm asking you, do you think that is it yes or no? Do you think that Microsoft is a victim of their own success as far as Halo? Why it doesn't connect in like Japan, or it's not as big as it is in Europe? Because being real, the Xbox is only really big here, not big here in the UK and fucking North America.
Yeah, actually, I think that could be. I hadn't really thought about that much, but yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons I like Xbox as an American, though. It's more catered towards American audience, and that's why it should do as well here and like places where, like in the UK, they like their Call of Duty, their quick scoping, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
UK is baby America.
Yeah,
Okay.
America and probably Europe, UK, and stuff like that. But yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
But okay, all right. Showstopper, your thoughts? Chime in.
You talking about the? I'm sorry, I wasn't caught up. Go ahead.
No, I was saying that do you think Microsoft is as far as Halo is being a victim of success? Why it's only really popular? You're not saying in North America. While the Xbox brand is only really popular in here in North America, and not as big. It's not big at all in Japan, and it's only really big in the UK.
Well, I look at that as just a different types of people. You know what I'm saying? Over here, if you look at how our movies and everything it's more shooter, more action packed. We tend to gravitate towards that type of stuff more than single, player type things or just lonely type things. So more action. Everything we do is more action. Even in our media, the way our cell phones is, like how we do Skype and multitasking,
Okay,
and everything like that.
but showstopper. Like I said, I gotta play good guy, bad cop here. But for the Xbox to truly dominate, it's going to need a Last of Us. It's the truth. They're going to need their Last of Us.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
To appeal to not the guys who are not into shooters and just that the other. They're going to need a Last of Us. That's why I'm hoping that That's why I'm so happy for Quantum Break. I hope it's a great game. It's a great.
But you got to also look at the Quantum Break too. That's still a shooter.
What is the story? I mean, I don't. Is it when you got a gun?
Hey, Uncharted is a shooter, and The Last of Us was a shooter.
What? Now, when you think, bro, come on, hey, showstopper, you cheat. Now, when you think of shooter, you think of Battlefield, you think of Call of Duty. You got a pistol in your hand. You ain't got no scope. You ain't first person. You think of that's a shooter. I'm talking about. Titanfall's a shooter. Yeah, you don't Last of Us another Titanfall. It's an action. It's a one player action. It has multiplayer. But your game like Last of Us, you play that for the story, the character, you know what I mean? And that's what, to me, Microsoft does not have. And to me, that's what Microsoft, they need to take it to the next level. I mean, do you guys agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think they need different genres of games, but you got two different consoles, man, and two different strengths.
Yeah. I think
Sony,
there's
Sony strengths. Sony's strength always been single player story mode games.
I think it's a
That was
fallacy.
their whole thing.
Okay, what you say,
I think
Brian?
it's a I think it's a fallacy to say, outright that because a game is a shooter, that it can't have an excellent single player story driven campaign. You know, I believe that Halo has an excellent single player story driven campaign. I mean,
Hey, Brian, you an Xbox through and through, man. A man of my own heart.
No,
He is
no,
sticking
no,
on
hey,
Halo, man.
hey, I'll chime in too.
listen,
I
listen.
play-
If
I
if
play-
the Xbox lost Halo tomorrow and it went
Yeah.
to PlayStation, I would play it on the PlayStation.
Okay. All right.
I love
Oh,
the
I
characters. I
wouldn't
love
deny
the
that.
story.
I play the story too. The first thing I do, you can play 4-player co-op. That's why I love Halo. I grab my buddies, my brother. We all play. We do the marathon. You play the 10 hours in a row to beat the game.
But that goes to what next gen saying. Everything that Microsoft is multiplayer. You get what I'm saying? Like you said,
Yeah,
four-person
well,
co-op and
yeah,
campaign.
exactly. Because I think that's what. But they're never gonna resonate with the Japanese audience. You know what
Well,
I mean?
see,
Well, okay,
hold
fuck.
on,
Take
hold on.
Japan. Take
Let me say this one point.
Yeah.
Right. Let me say this one point. I don't think that it's the per se. Hold on, I have to talk about. I don't think it's the multiplayer. I think it's more of the game model. Like Japanese, they like playing a lot of role player games, like MMOs, the Final Fantasy type games. You know what I'm saying? Like with wizards and warriors. You know what I'm saying? And those type of games. They love those type of games because I play with them all the time on the PC. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And I played those type of games with them on the 360, Final Fantasy 11. It's a whole community of just straight Japanese players. You get what I'm saying? Microsoft need those type of games. Let me
Okay.
answer this phone. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Y'all
Now.
have to continue.
Can I cut in? Can I cut in?
Yeah.
All right, look. I'm going to give you an experience like I had earlier today playing Ghost. I was sitting there playing Ghost online multiplayer, and there was this younger guy, probably about maybe 14, 15, 16 years old. I asked him if he's getting Titanfall. First words out of his mouth was, "No, I'm not getting it. I don't have the money, but much less. People are saying it's going to suck and this and that and stuff. And that's why I just asked him. I said, so you're going to go based off of what somebody else says instead of actually maybe finding somebody that has the game, go playing it for yourself and making that decision yourself." And he goes, well, people are saying, that it's just like Call of Duty. I said, well, let me ask you a question. You're playing Call of Duty right now, aren't you? He goes, yeah. What was your favorite Call of Duty? And he said Modern Warfare 2. And I'm saying, you do realize that the lead creators of Modern Warfare 2 are the very same ones that are making Titanfall, right? He didn't know that. And I, we got into a good discussion. And I finally, over the last year that I've been, doing YouTube and doing videos, partaking in the console war and having fun, there's one thing I have figured out about gamers in general. They bitch too damn much. I mean, it's getting to the point, there's a reason why we don't get new IPs. Because developers are too goddamn scared to try to make a new IP because of how anal gamers have become. I mean, why can't we just wait till the game comes out and everybody go play it for themselves? If you don't want to buy it right away, find somebody that has it. Go play it. See if you like it.
Hey, Nate, that's where social media is a double-edged sword. Whereas before, you could do the different IPs and stuff. Now, it's like people bitched about the BioShock Infinite cover. Oh, it's too generic. Who cares? It was one of the best games of 2013.
You know what?
Are you seriously going to complain about the cover?
I think developers should just stop listening to social media. I think they should just
should, because it's run by the vocal minority.
I know. You got, raging, 13-year-olds bitching on Call of Duty, sending the death threats to Call of Duty developers, over sniper chains.
They're threatening Respawn too because it's not on PlayStation 4. Oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? It's not on PlayStation 4. Let's send some death threats to Respawn Entertainment.
Hey, but know what? Too was another the elephant in the room you guys are not mentioning. Another reason why developers don't a lot of times think outside the box, because one, these games are so expensive to make, and they're not going to get their money back. Why? Because of used games. That's like I said, believe it or not, that is the elephant in the room that no one wants to talk about or address. And I keep going back saying the same shit over and over again. Like I said, it's bad for business. The way this
I'm
shit
a
is.
firm supporter of Microsoft's
Okay.
original vision.
Okay, I get that, Nate.
Stuck
But
to the guns and brought fucking DRM.
but here's the thing, though,
Love the
Nate.
vocal
See, but
minority.
let me speak on that. People complain about microtransaction and season passes where season passes are gone, but as long as you got stores around like GameStop, the only way that these companies can recoup some of their money is through microtransaction because GameStop is literally killing the industry slowly.
Yeah, like I said, like this thing. Listen, like
but you're going to have 15 million naysayers right now after this podcast is over.
Okay, but listen, here's the thing. Like I said before, honestly, here's it out.
These companies shouldn't support GameStop. They shouldn't allow them to sell their new products.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Here's Screwface. You need mom and pops. You need bricks. You need them. You need those stores. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Listen.
They sell them more in Walmart than they.
Oh, I understand, but guess what? One thing about but Walmart's another cruel entity in itself. I'll tell you about Walmart.
I'm just saying retail in general.
Okay, listen, check it out. Let me give you the flip side.
If they want to stop killing them, they need to stop.
Okay, all right, check it out. Now, okay, well put. You say that right. Now here's the thing. Here's the double-edged sword here. Okay, you take you take a company like GameStop, right? How much do you think GameStop makes off each brand each brand new game that they sell? And the only reason I know this is because a good friend of mine, I never talked about this before, but I once about 9 years ago, I used to own a video game store. Me and a friend of mine, a mom and pop store. We sold a store in Central Avenue. We had a fire. You know how much? And we was a small store, Central Avenue North. You know what I mean? You know how much? Well, I'm gonna ask you. How much do you think that a retailer makes off each brand new game that they're sold? How much?
I think they probably make about $10.
A DJ Screwface. How much do you think they make?
They probably don't make hardly nothing.
No, give me a number. Give me how much you think they make.
Maybe $10 or $15.
Okay, that's 15 is too much. We were in bulk. I will buy 60 copies of John Madden, right? 60 in the box. I will pay $55 per game. Well, back in the PlayStation 2 era, the Xbox, I will pay $45 per game. $43. So I will make only $7 per game each copy. That's why GameStop, would slide you that used copy first. You know what I mean? Because, but I'm not justifying this. Gonna say, but even with the consoles, you know what? I will buy PlayStation 2s for $100 and.
Somebody mute their mic.
I will buy in the store. Sorry. I will buy PlayStation 2s for $1.85 or $1.89 and only make $11 off each console sold. That's why GameStop is what is big because that's where they promote, the used game and shit and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, it doesn't really trickle. If you're a smaller business, the money doesn't trickle down to them, and I get it. But what I'm saying, and the same thing, like I said before, what it should be done, and that's crazy. You got these PC leads. I always like to talk about these PC numbers. What really needs to be done, a medium. You know what I mean? It should be way everybody eats. You know what I mean? And like I said, I would say sell all brand new games, $30, $35. Do away with used. You know what I mean? Imagine you can go into a store right now and buy 3 games for $100.
If they was to do that, that would cut out GameStop because GameStop.
I'm just saying it's not. It's not so much. You know what? I had to think about it.
That's a whole other avenue, though.
Yo, but here's the thing. Check it out, though. Check it out, Screw. I had to think about it because, like I said, Molly said, sometimes she heard us in here ranting about the GameStop and she said, and I was like I said, I sell used games, and she said, Zaire, you know what? You know how you used to make your money? I said, yeah, off the used games because even with the publishers and they be so fucking stingy, they all need to sit down at the table and discuss, a better business model.
Can I say something?
Yeah, you can say whatever you like.
Cliffy B, right around when the 360 launcher before Gears of War or whatever, he wanted every game brand new, and he said he wanted to be sold for $20. He goes, people have $20 in their pocket, but they don't have 60. If they're walking in Best Buy and they're looking at some titles, an impulse buy for $20 will get that game off the shelf.
Sure will.
And he said, I'd rather have more fans and make the same amount of money because more fans is better in the long run.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I just said before, you wonder why PC and all these Steam sales is up. They're able to offer these games. So you do away with the middleman, and you're able to deal directly with the directly with the publisher, the publisher, the devs, and the customer. There's no middleman. Now, I like you, Nate. I wish Microsoft would have kept that in that the thing they had in place with the DR. That's not that they were barring used games, but when you traded that game in, if GameStop went to resell it, the publisher got a piece. GameStop got it. You know what I mean? Everybody still ate off the game. So the day of we all want these new and immersive games, all this new experience. Like I said, they cost money. Fucking Assassin's Creed 4, 1,000 person team, and these games are supported after they come out. You got patches, you got this, you got that. You know what I mean? It's not like Nintendo back
People
in the
complain about the stuff that they're getting supported with, but like the odd thing is, like when Tomb Raider came out last year, people were like, "Hey, come out with DLC, some single player DLC." Or The Last of Us, come out with some single player DLC. Why do they want DLC for these games, but then complain about it with a game where it makes sense, like Titanfall or Call of Duty or Battlefield? When you're gonna play those games all year, you're gonna want new maps because you play those games so often online. So I see DLC as a good thing. It's optional. You don't have to get it, but it does help developers a little bit in the long run. Also, with the single player campaigns and stuff, that helps too. It'll have you going back to it. Like I remember, like Fable 3, they would come out with some campaign add-ons for that down the line, and then that would give me a reason to keep that game and go back to it.
Stop.
You see
You
what
know,
I'm saying?
I'd
See,
like
I'm
to
gonna tell you.
return to
I'm
my.
gonna tell you the biggest thing. The biggest
Wait, hold
problem.
up. Wait, hold up. Let's go one at a time. Wait, hold up. That was you. Who was just speaking before him?
I was.
Okay.
I started to speak up before.
Hey, baby, can you bring me a
for-
couple of
Go
but
ahead,
please?
go ahead, Nate.
I was going to say, you know, talking about DLC, I go back to my gamers
Hello?
bitch too much. What I mean, if they don't like DLC, then don't buy it. But don't sit there and fucking cry about it on YouTube and tell everybody how bad and how evil DLC is. I don't know about y'all, but you know, like Battlefield's DLC, fucking love it. You know, 5 expansion packs for $50. How the hell can you not love that? I
Hey,
mean,
hey, Nate. I think a lot of
crazy
people.
if you don't.
I think a lot of people have a problem with far as Capcom is having you paying for shit that's already on the disc.
Can I say something about the DLC?
Yeah.
And Nate, I'm not trying to attack you, but a lot of the Call of Duty, like the big Call of Duty gamers here on YouTube, the problem with DLC at times when it's paid for DLC, it actually breaks like the Call of Duty community because some people have the map packs, some people don't. Like I'll go play World at War on the PS3, and sometimes like if because I bought that game late and I don't have the DLC, so sometimes you get kicked out, and a lot of Call of Duty gamers say it's not good for the community in the long run.
Okay. Well, you know what, hey Peter. I mean, I didn't think about it in that in the way that you put it. What you think? What do you feel? What do you feel about that, Nate? The way you just
Well,
put it.
I haven't really experienced that myself too much. I mean, I know it can happen, but really, that's just all the developers need to do this when they release DLC. They need to keep the modes that, like which Call of Duty's already doing that now. As far as what I'm about to say, they already got it now, like where you play on the DLC maps only, and if you go to the regular stuff, like free for all, team deathmatch, all those within the normal mode, you only play in the original maps that came out when the game came out.
But here's the thing, though, Nate. It's being real, and you guys can give me your opinions or not, but they go over, they OD with all them goddamn map pack. I think they should just put out a season pass, $20. We already paying $65 for this game. So I think they should put out a season pass, $25, and
More
you should
people
have
buy it.
access to everything that comes out for that game from there on. I already gave you my $65. I don't bought this game. Now you're gonna charge me $45 for some maps, that's very expensive and it's not. That's the reason why I don't buy. And it's not really about a money issue to me. I just like goddamn. I'm paying $100 for one goddamn game. It's the same goddamn game. As far as these map packs and this, that, and the other. I mean, $20 and you have access to all the DLC and everything that comes out. Then after the game comes out, like you don't think that's fair?
Well, believe it or not, man, whenever Call of Duty 4 first came out, there wasn't fucking DLC.
I know
paid
that.
DLC.
You know that. But I'm just saying.
Call of
But you
Duty
don't think that's
4,
fair?
No, I'm just saying Call of Duty 4 was like the only Call of Duty that had free DLC. All the maps that came out after the game came out were given to the Call of Duty community free.
Hold on, Call of Duty 4 had one paid map pack. It had
it's one
Chinatown. It was Chinatown. Yeah, I think you're thinking of Call of Duty 2 because Call of Duty 4 had one 3 map pack thing of $10, I believe, at the time. and then they raised it to 15 for World at War.
I didn't remember there being a tank map pack on Call of Duty.
Yeah, it was China. It was Chinatown and 2 other maps on there. They weren't very good.
Oh, all right, but hold on. Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, because we didn't totally took this conversation across the street and back in. And before I close this, we bring it together and sign out. And I'm gonna ask you, and this is the one question I'm gonna ask. Give everybody a chance to answer. Okay. So everybody, get your thoughts together now. All right. Now, I kind of stopped with saying, is Microsoft a victim of their own success as far as Halo Online, and why the Xbox is only really successful here in North America and in the UK? What is it going to take for the Xbox to have a world to be as popular here as they are here in North America, in Japan, Europe, Spain, Angola? What are they going to have to do? And like I said, money's not an issue. They have more than enough money, so they're not short on resource. What is it going to take?
I'm probably not going to win any fans with this, but I mean, I like the Xbox a lot. I like the PlayStation a lot. There's a P word that Microsoft is not good at, and it's perception.
Yeah.
I don't think Microsoft honestly can do much in the short term. I think if they bring in people, and I know, obviously Jack Trenton's not going to Microsoft, but somebody like Jack Trenton who knows how to message a product, they can start to sort of claw their way into these other regions. Japan's never going to happen. Japan does not buy American products, period, with the exception of Apple, which is an anomaly.
That's because they make. Oh well, no, that's China. But anyway,
That's
Japan's
China.
Japan's not even buying.
Exactly how I feel.
Japan's
But,
not even buying PlayStation 4s.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
crap.
but-
Okay, all right. So wait, so you're saying perception?
I'm saying that they need. It's not about what they're doing game wise or what they're doing service wise or DRM. They have to learn how to communicate
Okay.
to the audience that they're after.
Okay. All right. Boom. Crap gamer, you go.
I-
Shoot.
Well, I don't think that they're. I think that they're never going to be big in Japan, but I do think they got to keep trying. I think what they got to do is maybe look to a developer that's well known. There's a rumor of a Platinum Games exclusive that might be announced at E3. I think that might be something that would help them out, like maybe in other areas, because Platinum Games, they do like Bayonetta and stuff like that. So that could be one of those. They could be working on a franchise that could help them get more recognition. I think they have to do a little bit more outside of the box, like Lost Odyssey 2. Lost Odyssey 1 was a really good game, sold really well in Japan. Sold decently here in the States. It's one of my favorite JRPGs, one of the only ones I like. They have to broaden, I think, the horizons a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe offer some of those different games. You know what I mean? Like if people just keep thinking that it's shooters or Forza Gears, Halo cycle over and over again, then that's unfortunate. Like people will say that to me, and I'll point out my Xbox 360 collection, which is 300 plus games strong, and I have a whole row of over 100 exclusives, and there's only a small section of those that are Halo, Gears, Forza, and Fable. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of games that were exclusive that were really good, but people didn't know about or didn't care about, or they come up with something like one of the best hack and slash games I played on the 360 was 99 Nights and 99 Nights 2. And most people don't even know about that game. Brilliant little games, and most people don't even know about it because they have this perception, which, like what Warrior Wart was saying, there's a perception that it's just shooters or dude bros or whatever, but there's actually a lot of JRPGs, a lot of good variety of games on the Xbox 360, and the Xbox One has to do that as well, but they have to get that game that's going to reach out to a lot of different people. You know what I'm saying? It's a shame about that whole Shanghai situation, because that possibly could have been a game. And also Microsoft could pick up Amy Hennig, and she could help write something that would be able to draw in a wider audience.
All right. Showstopper, shoot.
All right. I think what Microsoft needs to do is be more transparent. You know what I'm saying? I think they don't explain stuff very well, and everything is just so secretive. If you got something in play, don't beat around the bush so much. And I believe.
Hey, bro, they had to keep the DirectX12 on the wraps, man.
I mean, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, like, don't announce something like how they announced the cloud computing, and they were so big on cloud computing, and but they didn't explain it well. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it gives people a false sense of what the system is capable of doing. So it's left to people's imagination.
And they turned
So
it
if
into
you
a
come
joke.
yeah, they turn it to a joke. So
Yeah.
that's my thing is that's what they need to do. Just explain things a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as them getting new games, I love the job Phil Spencer is doing right now. I think he don't get enough credit
Mm-hmm.
for the job that he's doing with bringing out these games and getting a good variety of different types of games. And you know, he come from Sony?
No,
Wasn't he
No,
once with Sony?
no.
he's
That's
long
that's Phil.
term
That's Phil
Microsoft.
Harrison. I mean, that's
Yeah, Phil Harrison is the British guy.
Yeah, he came from Sony.
Oh,
He
that
came from
was Harrison.
Atari.
Okay.
He came from Atari, then Sony, then he's over at Microsoft.
But he doing a real good job. So I mean, I just look at that and I just
Phil Spencer's
I'm
man.
more I feel more secure with Microsoft future with what Phil Spencer is doing right now, and that's all I'm gonna say on
I just want to say something about that cloud when it comes to Forza 5. I had like a really awesome experience today playing that game. I'm sitting there, in a straightaway. A fucking drivatar comes up next to me and fucking rams me while I'm playing just a single player.
Huh?
Have you ever seen that in a fucking racer?
That's part of the cloud that people were so adamant about that doesn't they say it's fake. But then when you play that, like you actually have to play a certain amount of races before your drivatar can be uploaded and mimics what you do. That's cloud computing. It takes your actions and puts it into an AI.
Oh, what I missed?
So
I got off this order. What the hell I
ram
missed?
people when I play that game, and so I hear a lot of times that when they play against my drivatar that it rams them. So
Okay.
I think that's funny.
Okay, wait. Wait. Hey, sorry. I'm sorry. I just got up to get around for them. Hey, Showstopper, did you finish?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Joe, you go. Because we already had a minute and a half, an hour and a half. I got to wrap really close.
Okay.
Shoot.
My thing is, see what Sony did. One of the first things that Sony did, Sony came over and they bought American studios. I think Microsoft's gonna literally have to get some Japanese studios that do Japanese games. You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
We
now
know
listen.
what that culture wants.
Okay, okay. So what you're saying? You want Microsoft to buy Japanese studios to appeal to the. Now you do realize that Japanese is a small. Not saying it's a small market, but it is the smallest of the three. So you want Microsoft to invest in Japanese studios to give them. What I'm asking. The question is to make them the appeal across the world. I'm just want to understand your question.
But we already said that Sony got like the story-driven games. You know what I'm saying? And we was asking what would appeal to that demographic, and I say
Japan. So you want Microsoft to invest in more Japanese studios to.
It ain't got to be more. It could just be one major studio.
So if you say one major, give me one major studio.
Oh wow. Sure, there's a bunch of them. What Capcom or something. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna buy Capcom. But I'm just saying.
Wow, Capcom only got 150 million in the bank. You know,
No. I'm not. It's not necessary. They can build a studio over there. They ain't really gotta. You know what I'm saying? But just use that demographic to put out games. And that'll hopefully sway some Japanese. You know what I'm saying, to come over. And when it come down to like the mass appeal, you know what I'm saying, just don't always throw money. Like when it comes down to Microsoft trying to get Europeans and stuff, they give them extra games, like they throwing the Forzas and all of this here. You know, just be honest with people and let them see what you do and make them believe you. And I feel that they would be more willing to purchase your product. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Sony did. Sony came out and made people think that they was for them, so they weren't as hesitant to go out and get a PlayStation as there was when it came down to the Microsoft. That's one.
Okay. All right. Screwface.
Yo. Yeah, I think that if you're gonna appeal to the world, you know what I'm saying? Like people overseas, like somebody in here earlier said, you gotta have. They like playing games that's more single player. You know what I'm saying? Story mode type games. So I think that Microsoft is gonna have to, you know, like you were saying earlier, they don't have that flagship story mode game or whatever. they're gonna have to find that. They may need 2 or 3 of them, because that's what people over there like to play. Not necessarily Japan, but just all across the board. Europe, etc. And I think if they do that, that would help them because they're gonna be able to reach that audience. Because I feel like multiplayer online gaming killed or has slowly killed story mode single player games because everybody wants to just jump on and get in a party and talk to people and this, that, and the third,
Okay.
and they don't want to, because like, you said you was 36 earlier. I'm 32. I can remember sitting in my room playing Nintendo by myself. Playing Zelda or playing, or even later consoles like Resident Evil and shit, where you sitting on a game, story mode for hours, trying to figure shit out. Nowadays people just pop in a game and go talk to a bunch of people and play the games with several peoples in a party. So
Okay.
I think they gotta go more towards. They always gonna have their shooters and all that type of shit, but they gotta go towards the more single player games too, like Sony does,
Okay.
and to get that market.
Okay. Peter Parker, shoot.
All right, what I think they have to do, they definitely have to work on the communication, like Brian talked about. Maybe bring in Major Nelson to always be up on stage. Major Nelson does have that magic that Steve Jobs has, and some people on stage they're like the Bill Gates. You have the Steve Jobs, you have the Bill Gates. So if they have the Bill Gates, he might be great, in the office doing business, but he shouldn't be up on stage. That's one thing they got to work out.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing they got to work out is like what you were saying and Brian is saying about like a game. They have to get that right game. And I think that right game would be Crimson Skies, has great multiplayer, and if they can incorporate third person single player in that, like a Tomb Raider or Indiana Jones type of thing, and bring in that writer from Uncharted, they got a golden ticket.
Okay. Before now, has everybody answered this question? Nate, have you gone?
No, I haven't.
All right, you go. Shoot.
All right. So the question, remember, correctly, you said was, what does Microsoft got to do to change to be able to get gamers on board? Is that basically the gist of it?
No. What here's the question? What does Microsoft have to do? Like you understand, the Xbox brand is the biggest here in North America and in the UK. What does Microsoft have to do to get that? Like Sony has a more global. Like people are more, or more how should I say, trusting of the Xbox brand, or will you choose that over Sony, or appeal to more people, to a bigger market than just here in shooters North America and the UK. What do they have to do?
All right. First off,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What did Microsoft have to do to change that perception to think that hey, we're just online, we're just shooters, to appeal to a bigger niche of gamers, understand what I'm saying? You get it to appeal to a bigger market. You know what I mean? Just you see how the Xbox is.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've got a stellar studio that they've had making avatars for Connect, for too long. Maybe it's time to take the shackles off and let Banjo and Kazooie and the many other titles that Rare has got under its belt, and let them just start making them.
Viva Pinata, bring it back. Can I just say one thing before I have to run out real quick? I think Microsoft also has to work on ways to bring in customers who don't have an Xbox. Like digital comics, those are getting really big. They can bring out a Halo series for your iPad, things like that. So people can have a connection with the IP. So if you don't have an Xbox One, if you want to read Halo, you can have some of that stuff. Also, it wouldn't be a bad idea to also maybe have cloud gaming for the PC to try out some Xbox One demos. Like the games wouldn't be available on the PC, but you could at least try out a demo. And if you like the demo, then go get it on the Xbox One. But I have to take off.
All right. Yeah, finish, Nate. Good answer, Peter. Nate.
All right. Another thing they could do is like I typed it in the comments there, that they could, buy Capcom, and if they make Resident Evil exclusive to Xbox, Street Fighter exclusive to Xbox, and make Mega Man exclusive to Xbox, and they actually
they would hate you for that. You would get so much hate.
Wait.
Mega Man exclusive to Xbox.
I would love for them to do that.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, wait, Nate. Nate.
Japan
Nintendo
doesn't
will hang you
buy-
at a stake for even talking
Japan
about that.
does not buy Microsoft, right?
All right, but hold up, Nate. Let me get this right. What you're saying is, if Microsoft was, if you think now, all those games you know are all those games that you named are lagging in sales. So you think, Fighter, which are slowly not saying they're dying, but the arcade scene is just about dead, and the fighters don't sell the way they used to. Resident Evil has been in shit, like has sold like shit. Resident Evil 6 slump,
because
fucking
they
Raccoon
busted
City
heads.
slump. So you say if Microsoft was to buy that company and just have Street Fighter, Mega Man, I give you Mega Man.
Capcom has lost vision a little bit,
Yeah.
and it's time for somebody to buy them out and put in how would I say, uncloud their vision.
Okay.
Now think about it like this: what if they bought Capcom and took Resident Evil, and they got that girl that left Sony from The Last of Us,
Okay.
and put her in charge of the next Resident Evil?
Mm.
What do you think would happen to the Resident Evil storyline?
Yeah, okay, cool. The original creator, the writer from Resident Evil, and it was scary. He left Capcom. He's over at Bethesda Warner Brothers. He's doing that game, The Evil Within, which I can't wait to play. He's doing that game there. That's the creator from the original Resident Evil. And Resident Evil was really scary. That guy's there doing The Evil Within. That was just a little plug for that game.
Okay, now why did he leave Capcom? Is it
I don't know. It's like saying this, Nate.
Here's the reason why.
Okay.
Because the people that are in charge of Capcom right now
Mm-hmm.
have got their heads up their collective asses.
Mm-hmm.
Influenza, he left Capcom. He
Okay.
went and, he's got his mighty number 9. Going to be coming out here within another 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, a year.
Mhm.
Hold on, that was Kickstarter funded too, right?
Yeah, that was Kickstarter funded and flew way past what they asked for.
Okay.
Okay, and he left Capcom because Capcom kept telling him no on what he wanted to do.
Okay.
He wanted to make Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to make a new Mega Man. Capcom wouldn't let him. No, they're too interested in making DLC and mobile games now.
Okay.
And that's why I say that Capcom has lost direction. Now, if Microsoft bought them and got rid of the fat, cut the fat that is making the cancer that is killing Capcom, and then restarted it as Capcom Microsoft Studio,
Mm-hmm.
and then brought people like the creator of Resident Evil back, added to that, bring the girl from Sony to help, make, they work together and they make the most deepest, darkest Resident Evil, non-fucking action, but actually survival horror, go back to basics like the way it was when it first came out. You bring Influente back, and get him making Mega Man again, and stuff like that. And then you open up the rare chest. Microsoft, they can stop they can change the look if they're just about shooters.
Okay.
By just doing a few things.
Okay.
And Rare is the number one place they need to start. People have been begging for Banjo-Kazooie. Did I say it right? Banjo-Kazooie to come back.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie to come back.
Phil Spencer is actually a fan of that IP. I talked to him on Twitter, and he said that Nuts and Bolts didn't perform as well as they would have liked, but he would like to see a platformer version come out again. And so that
that's
might
because
be
Nuts and Bolts wasn't a platformer. That's why it didn't perform well.
Well,
it's just like Sony gamers have been begging for freaking Crash Bandicoot to come back.
Well, it would never be exclusive. Activision's making a new one, multi-platform though.
But okay, so Nate. So in the gist of it, okay. So you say, Capcom take the chains and shackles off Rare, and they were appealed to a broader. We'll make the Xbox brand bigger in other countries and other regions. Okay. Well, Nick, that was good shit there. All right. So have I asked everyone this question here?
Yes.
All right. Hey, John Doe.
Yeah.
Hit that for me, man.
With the fun, these niggas with these fucking silly looks on their faces. You wanna walk around with them or you wanna walk with God, nigga?
Alright, now with that being said, man, here's my take, here's my spiel, and here's my motherfucking cue. Alright? What I think Microsoft has to do to appeal to. They make it huge in Japan. They make the motherfucker huge in Europe. First, if you're talking about buying a Japanese company, they should buy Konami. Why should they buy Konami? They would have the Metal Gear franchise exclusive to the Xbox One. But a big franchise that Konami has, and which they can breathe some life back into, is that fucking football game, that PSE, whatever the fuck you call it. You know what I'm talking about? The soccer game that Konami has. That
PS,
Pro
right?
Evolution.
Yeah,
PES.
PS. Yeah.
Okay, buy that game, and pay for I think EA has, I don't know what I think EA, they outdo them for the license, but EA doesn't have as much money as Microsoft. They can really bring that fucking franchise right there back. Like from what I've heard, that game.
Hold on, ain't Team Ninja under them too?
No, from what
Team Ninja ain't under Konami?
No.
Oh.
From what I heard from because I've never been big into FIFA games, but that is the number one sports selling game across the world. That game right there used to kick FIFA's ass. You know what I mean? So if they was to have that exclusive to the Xbox brand, boom, like I said, buy Konami. Also, too, like I said, what Microsoft should have done back then was purchase Sega. Imagine if they had Shenmue and Power Stone, all those great niche fucking Japan cult games. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been fucking huge. You know what I mean? Also, like you said, Microsoft needs whether you hate it, love it or not, and to me, Halo's not going to do it. They need a fucking, not saying The Last of Us, but they need that.
A story-driven game.
That's, you know what I mean? That doesn't rely on
Perfect Dark.
Well, that last Perfect Dark was shit. That's just my opinion.
I'm saying a complete reboot.
Okay, well, whatever the case may be, they need a fucking one-player game, and not just one. They need a multiple of them. They need a lot of them. You know what I mean? Not just be a one-hit quitter, be one and done. They need a fucking a Heavy Rain, or Beyond Two Souls, or, you know what I mean? This bam, 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 at least 2 of those a year. You know what I mean? Like, to me, and
Out of Beyond Two Souls, PlayStation fans don't like Beyond Two Souls.
I'm just saying. I'm not. Well, you know what I'm saying. This, and not just be a one and done. It takes you to appeal. And like I said, Microsoft, out of the 3, they have the money and the resources to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being real. Out of the 3, Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony, the Xbox brand is worth more than Nintendo and fucking Sony. You know what I mean? So, I think, like I said, to really take these Xbox One to the next fucking, platform, to the next level, they really need to go out and play for broke. They're going to do it, get and do it. I mean, they slowly trying to corner the market, taking up what they get from Sony and this, that, and the other. Fine, fuck it. Nah. Go balls to the wall. Go, you know what I mean? Fucking, go in that motherfucker, pull a power move, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Shut the block down. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it, man. But any day, man, this has been a real loud, real good show today. I appreciate everybody for coming by, the newcomers, Screwface, and whoever the hell Nate stopped in. Everybody get yourself a fucking round of applause. A very good show here.
Yeah, we're awesome. Woo!
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, next week, I was supposed to do it this week, but I kind of strayed away from the plan. I'm going to open the floor up to the audience. We're going to start taking questions from you guys. As long as they're respectful, you don't act like an asshole. We're going to try to do it in Google+, or we would take the questions over Skype or in the Facebook group. I'll make a form or something there, or something that you guys can ask us questions. Because you guys, everyone wants to be a part of the show, and I can't, first of all, I do realize, like I said, when I started doing this shit on this channel here, this show, I used to, Bang Bang, Next Game Gamer podcast. I'm going to start doing the podcast for the Facebook, I promise. I just been real, my time has been fucked up. I didn't forget what got me here. I didn't forget you guys, but I can't get everybody on the show. Just give me a chance. I'm going to, everyone wants to be, I appreciate everybody wants to be a part of this, and I do appreciate it. You know what I mean? I do. Trust me. Now I sound like a fucking politician. Fuck you. Fuck your grandmother. I thank you for all the love and support. Let me see you guys next Sunday, man.
Reverend Al Sharp.
Reverend motherfucking, yeah, man. Fuck up dicks and tits. I'm out of here, man. Bang, bang.